Happy Fragrant Friday for Raghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new, Hartford, Connecticut guy this week review. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Happy Fragrant Friday, my friends. I hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for checking out my episode. If you've seen the title and the description, you know I am checking out none other than, another heavy hitter, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. So if you saw my episode last week, you know that I reviewed the man, the original, Dior Fahrenheit, and so I was officially now welcomed to the YouTube fragrance reviewer table. It's a must to of course experience that joy, and I really had a great time last week wearing that one. And so this is of course the 2014 flanker to it, Parfum. So it looks like Parfum, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. And this is also, of course, sent in, as you know, if you follow the channel, by Dr. Goo. So I really appreciate that. I will say real quick, the only thing, it came, he was worried about the packaging. It was perfect when it got here, but for some reason, the white plastic piece you can see in the atomizer popped out after the first day. So I will take that in consideration with the longevity. I was able to wear it though. You can see, of course, I am dry as a bone with the juice, but that I will take that in consideration with the longevity projection and sillage. So this is a 2014 and it is an amber spicy. And it is by Monsieur François Demachy, who also, of course, does just absolutely superb work. And this, of course, is no difference. You know, if I wanted to really, really make this a short review, I don't. But if I really wanted to, I would say the simple version of this review is this. This is essentially the original Dior Fahrenheit with the petrol/gasoline note removed. That is the, of course it's not that easy, but here's what I think. You guys who follow me each week know that I love to imagine them in the boardroom and Dior going like how, and they bring in Monsieur François Demachy, and they wonder like what can we do to top Fahrenheit? And I think I imagine that they went through surveys, right? And they said, for the love of God, why won't you please remove that ridiculous gasoline note, which of course people actually like, but I'm saying a lot of people probably, if they don't like it, it's because of that. So maybe the notion behind this flanker was to finally deliver the goods for people who love Dior Fahrenheit, except for the quite potent and pungent initial blast of gasoline and petrol. So that is my take. So I'll see you later. No, I'm kidding. That is my take on this flanker. Of course, it's not that easy, but that's the overall gist of it. So let's get to the notes then. The notes are going to be leather and violet leaf. Okay, so there's the original there. But then you do get a blast of vanilla. I actually don't mind the vanilla. I'm not a huge vanilla fan. I'm not. It's kind of just, okay, there for me. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you in their reviews that this is with a vanilla and rum bomb. I certainly can pick up, I certainly pick up the rum, the booziness, of course I do. I think it's just because I'm a huge licorice. I don't like black licorice actually to eat, but I love the smell of licorice and of it. In fact, I was a little surprised that no one has said that this is slightly similar to Lolita Lempica Eau Masculin. Now, I finally scored a bottle of that. That's discontinued, but I'm intrigued by the licorice here. So let's go ahead and say it's definitely leather and violet leaf, no problem. I'm going to go with vanilla, but you should know that most reviewers are going to add rum to it, and it certainly does have a boozy quality to it. No doubt about it. I think that's what I like about the vanilla here, is that it's not just that, right? It's kind of offset by some booziness. And then finally, I really like the licorice here. The real stroke of genius for me personally, this is all subjective, is just the strong, prominent note of licorice. Really, really tip my cap to Monsieur Demachy in that regard. In fact, it almost made me think today about doing possibly a top 5 or top 10 favorite licorice fragrances, and I don't think I included licorice in my top my favorite notes episode, so it's climbing up the charts. So tuned in next year when. All right, so you get the idea on the notes though. So to me, it's very very sexy, very attractive, very romantic, very nighttime. This is another one that I think would be real hard to dislike. It'd be a great gift. The list goes on here. What I really like about this one, though, is notice it's hard to dislike, but it's original enough that no one's going to call this a quote unquote crowd pleaser. So I really like the release. It has a very confident, robust fragrance smell. And I also like the fact that it's needed. I mean, in the sense that some flankers are just, right? Usually we argue about why it's even called a flanker. Sometimes these companies will put out flankers that have nothing at all to do with the DNA of the original. So it's like, all right, well, then call it something else. I mean, they're just trying to cash in from the original and piggyback on the profits of the original. Certainly understand, I guess, that, but I don't like it. Whereas this one really is a flanker of Fahrenheit in the sense that either they were moved artistically. Demachy had sleepless nights where he's like, I must remove the petrol or gasoline out of this, or quite frankly, maybe they just they know their customers and thought enough people have said they love Fahrenheit, they just want the gasoline out of it, the burnt rubber smell out of it, and that is certainly the case here because it is non-existent. So those are the notes. I just wanted to throw out those general thoughts that I have when it comes to the rum and the licorice. Very well done fragrance. I really enjoyed wearing it. So much so, obviously, that even when the white plastic piece on the black atomizer, I should say, popped out and broke. Even then, I just had to pump, and then find a way to get all the juice out. So I kind of had to MacGyver it this week. So those are the notes. Now let's get to. I told you, we can put an asterisk next to the longevity, projection, and sillage. And here's what I want you to do. If anybody comments, if they have it, and they comment down below and they talk about longevity, projection, and sillage, go with their response more than mine because of what I said. Even though I didn't get, like optimal sprays, I still feel like it did very, very well. Normally, I would be tempted to dock a point or to talk about the fact that this is called a Parfum and did not perform like one. It performed more like an EDT. But I really have a sneaky suspicion it's because of the white plastic piece that popped out. So I'm going to err on the side of it's good, and it was probably just because of that. So why don't we say longevity was already 6 to 8 hours anyway, closer to 6 though for me, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a full 8-hour work shift or night out here. I'm going to go ahead and say no issues with longevity. I feel confident in saying that because even on days when it was just kind of spitting out some and I had to rub on my wrist, so Al here, talking street sense, he would have of course found it blasphemous, but that I did that and sacrilegious, but I did rub my wrists and put anywhere that I could with my hands, and even then I got a robust 6. So I'm very happy. If I had a full bottle of this, I know I'd get 8+. So all systems go on longevity with the Parfum. projection was very good also. This is going to be an arm's length away for the first 4 to 5 hours, and then it'll settle down a little bit. But again, you will definitely get what you want out of the projection. And then sillage, I think sillage is par for course for a Parfum. I think it's very good, in other words. So coming in and out of rooms, walking by people, leaving a trail, you will get noticed. People will definitely ask you what you're wearing without the shadow of a doubt. And they certainly won't, I don't think they would guess Fahrenheit, and of course the original, right? I think they would just generally say, that's a very nice fragrance, what are you wearing? So yeah, it's optimal in those 3 categories for the Parfum. When it comes to gender, this is unequivocally, the vanilla here is mixed with the booze. So I'm going to say, and licorice. The violet leaf, it's got a lot of leather. This is going to be one of those ones where I can give a number, but an actual people who have the bottle, I think will be, of course it's for men. I'm going to go ahead and say this one is a 90-10. 90% will be men, 10% will be women. But I'm going to, vanilla is, with a boozy quality, and licorice sounds very nice indeed. I actually differ, though, in the sense that I do think from others, in the sense that I do think a woman could pull this off. Even though it's going to be, again, when it comes to people coming to the forefront saying, I own this bottle, I think you're going to see 90% men. But unlike the original, I do think absolutely that a woman could pull this off quite easily, actually. So I'm going to call this a masculine release in terms of our marketing and the unsponsored Lucky Scent. If this is this is feminine and this is masculine and this is unisex, we'll go right down the middle here. I don't think it's a unisex fragrance. I don't. But it's definitely not I won't be wearing, gold chains and dancing to Bee Gees. It's not the 80s powerhouse uber masculinity. It's just very nice. It's just a wonderful fragrance. As I said earlier, unless someone were really, anti-fragrance or even allergic, I can't really see anyone full on disliking this fragrance. So we'll just call it right in the heart of masculinity. 90-10 on the percentage breakdown. Age. This one's tough because it's all over the place, but in a good way. And so I actually could see a college student wearing this, and I could see an older gentleman wearing this. I'm actually going to go 18 plus on this one. I think most people will probably be, people who knew the original and like the original. So it's going to be probably 40 and up on who are talking about it and own it. But as far as who could wear it, I'm going to say 18 and up. It's a very, very well-rounded and well done. Yeah, I guess maybe make an argument that the younger crowd wouldn't like the licorice. That might be a little old smelling to them. But I'm sorry, it's pretty well done. This is a pretty well done fragrance. And of course, I read, I don't know if that's true, but I read that it has been discontinued, so I can't speak to that yet, but let me know if it has been. But if it has, how cruel. Either way, let's go 18 and up on the age. When it comes to season, this one to me would be, it's got violet leaf, and it is an amber spicy. So I feel like this is another one that's going to be a 3 season. It's going to be more fall, winter. I would see this for me personally as a fall, winter into spring slightly. And then this might be a little in hotter climates. I don't know. You could wear it, but I don't know that I would reach for it. We got leather, for crying out loud. You've got vanilla. That's okay. But you got violet leaf, licorice, coriander. I'm not. I'm not sure that I would grab this after swimming laps at the community pool. Okay, so let's go 3 seasons out of the year, and then we'll exclude summer. More likely, though, would be kind of a late fall, early winter fragrance. Just very, very nice for the cooler climates. I don't like cold weather, but one thing that I love fragrance so much that I actually look forward now to colder temperatures, for the sole reason, well, I guess besides hockey. So I guess hockey, and then the sole reason besides that, though, is that I get to wear certain fragrances that really shine in colder temperatures. So that's great. Okay, so let's look at event here. This one does have a little bit more of a regal category to it. I mean, I guess in the sense that, I don't know that I would bust this one out if I were wearing t-shirts or flip-flops or shorts. I mean, I do feel like it has a little bit more sophistication to it. And so the event to me would be, I would even say, semi-formal. I think it would work very well in a semi-formal situation. Like I said, I see it more of a going out fragrance where you're doing something different. You're dressing up in somehow in a fashion that's different from usual, right? And so I would say that to me it's not highly versatile, but in a good way, in the sense that I could easily see how somebody would comment and say something like this is the fragrance I always wear when I go out, or for the weekends, something like that. So you could wear this at work. I feel like this is going to shine though from 4 p.m. on. So I feel like this is definitely in one of those fragrances that you would want to wear after work. Put it on, and then do your happy hour / going out for supper / live music / clubbing / a midnight stroll by the lake. Whatever have you. You get my point. I don't know. You could wear this one to work, but I see this more as an evening fragrance, no doubt. So that is Dior Fahrenheit Parfum so far. I must tell you that this week I have struggled, even up until pushing record, I have struggled with the rating on this one. Sometimes I know exactly it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3. I have a 5 spray rating system on my channel, and this one has gone between a 4 and a 5, depending on my mood, the day. I have really struggled with this one because it is very well blended, and it is a well-rounded fragrance. I like the fact that it had a need, right? I like that it filled a void for all of us me in the past at least, that didn't like the gasoline note in the original. So it had a need, and I like that a lot. I also really, really appreciate the magic touch that is the licorice note. Personally, I just struggle with the wow factor, and so I've gone between 4 and a 5. I feel like this is probably like a 4.4999999999. I mean, it's almost a 4.5, and then we would, of course, bounce it. I don't do half sprays, you know that, so I would round it to 5. See, if I compare it to the original, which I gave a 5, I feel like that one had a lot of character, and it is quite distinct. I feel like this one, if you didn't know the name and you set it up next to a lot of other fragrances and you had people just smell, I don't know that they would be able to say that it has that impactful oomph, personality, character to it. But it's so great. So I'm really struggling here. I'm gonna go. I still feel that my original response to this after the first 2 or 3 days was, yeah, this is very good. But I don't know that it had the eye widening, wow factor that a lot of other fragrances have. I'm going to reluctantly go. I'm going to go with 4 on this one. I'm going to go with 4 out of 5 sprays, which is probably going to. Yeah, the boo birds are out already. I mean, I should really bounce it up to 5. One advantage I have that 111 people will watch this video is that I can kind of just do 4 or 5s and no one's going to really care, right? I'm going to go with 4. So 4 sprays. These will be faux, of course, because I am long gone on the juice. But I'm going to go 4 out of 5 sprays, reluctantly, for Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. Oh. Boom. Boom. And boom. All right, there you have it. There you have it. Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. Really enjoyed that one. I know Dr. Goo, when he watches this, will probably bring up, don't worry about the white plastic piece. It was just a fluke, like I said earlier. It arrived in good order, and so it must just been one of those things. And so not to worry about at all. I'm very appreciative that he sent it. My scent of the day. You guys know last week I put away Burberry London reluctantly. Ironically, I put it away, and then we're in a snowstorm, and so. It was my way of saying goodbye to winter, and then, of course, we get a snowstorm. So either way, though, it was time to move on, and so this week, my SOTD, my scent of the day, because, of course, these were faux sprays, is Déclaration by Cartier Parfum. This is Déclaration Parfum, and I will be checking this one out next. Well, I have been already, but I'll be reviewing this one next week. I'm really excited about this one. It has been great. I was sad to see Burberry London go, but I absolutely adore many aspects of this one and what I like and don't like. Stay tuned and watch me next week. You guys take care. I always enjoy doing these episodes. I really appreciate that. Think about this. I have a channel that has no, those like, hey, buy me a cup of coffee things that people put and you're supposed to send money. I don't do any of that. I don't have Patreon. I don't have, VIP, blah, blah, blah. And yet you guys over the years have sent in a lot of stuff. And I just want to say how much I really appreciate that. Have a great week. Take care. And always remember, my friends, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. And by the way, for the boo birds out there, let me just say this. I'm also considering, I'm going to stay 4 regardless, even if it's not discontinued. I'm staying 4, but added to my rating is the fact that they supposedly they have discontinued it, and I am considering that in the sense that if I had a weak moment and wanted to go 4.5, I'm going to keep it at 4.4999 to 99999 because they should never have discontinued it if they in fact have. 2014, François Demachy, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum, a lot of fun to wear. Excruciatingly difficult to give a rating between 4 and 5. This is probably what you're looking at as the poster child for the half spray. So maybe I'll have you guys will be standing outside in the streets demanding that cologne guy incorporate half sprays into his rating, and you'll be chanting half spray. And I understand that. I understand that you're angry, you're upset, and I get it. But I'm going to stick to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 out of 5 sprays for this one. like 4 minutes of what I just said is not going to even make it in. Okay.